Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has given the assurance that the jobs of Grenlec's employees are secured and that there is no need for uneasiness. His comments follows concerns expressed in the GBN television news by the president of the Technical and Allied Workers Union, Andrew Lewis, now that government has repurchased Grenlec's shares from WRB. The nation's leader notes that the status of the management structure of the company remains unchanged.
The same situation now exists until there is a decision as to how we're going forward. The manager is in place. We don't intend to do anything about that right now. The only change you have is the board of directors and who are in charge of the company would have to be modified. I don't even think a final decision has been made yet because the minister has to make recommendation. I don't think there's any worry about the workers at Grenlec. I hear concern about the workers worry about the status. I tell people, I believe you should have more confidence in your own people and your interests.
In its news release, formally announcing the WRB settlement on Tuesday, government also stated that it is already in discussion with international agencies to procure the services of a world-class management company to operate the utility. On Wednesday, the Prime Minister confirmed that, and I quote, "Until there is a decision as to the way forward, the manager is in place, and they do not intend to do anything about that right now. The only change will be in the board of directors, but a final decision on that has not yet been made. It will be the Minister of Public Utilities who will have to make recommendations before a final decision will be made," unquote.
My legacy would be such that the decision on Grenlec, when all the facts have been given, some of the things we could not say before, we will be able to say it now. It will be shown that it would be one of the best decisions made by any government. Because I'm convinced the National Electricity Services, check the history of every country. Grenada was one of the few countries where a family-owned business from outside manage and control a national security asset. They could literally shut down this country and we couldn't do anything about it.
The Prime Minister stands firm in his belief that regaining control of Grenlec is one of the best decisions made by any government. Christelina John, GBN News.
Minister Bowen seems set on a blame game during Wednesday's press brief. He laid out a lot of culpability for Grenada's failure to invest in renewable energy at the feet of the now-departed WRB. He told the press that loans from the World Bank to the tune of US $10 million have been stalled and others have backed out, citing a lack of sincerity by the government of Grenada. He cited the Climate Smart Cities project, valued at $300 million, as one of those which are under threat.
Which means that because 70% comes from transportation and electricity, that we have to reduce that. As a matter of fact, we should have been 25%. We should have had 25% of our plants generating by renewable. And we got the monies for Nawasa because we planned to do this. We made a commitment. How much do we have now? I want to thank the general manager in Grenlec for correcting a statement I made. I said we had no more than 6%. He immediately told me Please don't say that. We only have 1.5%.
At some points, the minister made comments which suggested that he was making a case for why things may go wrong in the future or if some projects do not materialize. The government's geothermal project is one of those which seem to be covered under a cloud of doubt.
It all came because of our commitment to that. People like the GCF and the GF and others, they're pulling back and say, if you're doing nothing, why should we give you more grant? Why should we find financing for you? The United Arab Emirates gave us 600 grant kilowatt plant for Carriacou and Petit Martinique at the point in time. And we are just about to save. I know Minister Joe doesn't like the word save, because Grenlec will not give us a letter saying that we'll interconnect that solar plant in Carriacou to the system. We were under serious problems, and we could have lost that. Now, one of the first things to be done is for Grenlec to just tell IRENA and the United Arab Emirates, who's giving us a grant of $3.2 million for the plant in Carriacou, that at least your plant will be interconnected.
He listed the World Bank as being a crucial partner in the development of renewable energy via the Eastern Caribbean Energy Regulatory Authority (EXERA) project.
Because Grenada took the bold step to do what was necessary. And you're saying, why do you walk along with the World Bank? Where else are we getting 0.75% interest, 40 years loan, 10% grace? It is because the bank saw that Grenada had the foresight